Welcome to the advanced tutorial for Steam Revolution, the Age of Rail. This tutorial discusses concepts that will allow you to build more complex and efficient rail networks. Signals split the track into blocks. So in this example, there are 3 signals that split this looped track into 3 blocks. Occupancy is determined on a per block basis. That is, if a train is in a block, the block is considered occupied. Trains will only stop to load, unload, or turn around at signals. They also have to be fully contained in a block to do those things. There are 3 types of placeable signals, and the ends of tracks implicitly have a terminal signal that causes the train to turn around. Blue block signals are the simplest. They cause a train to stop and wait at the signal if the next block is occupied. When trains arrive at a signal, they're placed into a waiting queue for the block, so that the trains are allowed into the block in the order that they arrive. The orange free signals allow trains to pass through regardless of if the next block is occupied or not. However, they still act as block boundaries, dividing the track into blocks. They also allow trains to stop and load or unload cargo. The key thing that makes these signals useful is that trains will not collide with another train that is in front of them on the same rail. This allows far fewer signals to be placed along tracks. The yellow chain signals look not only at the occupancy of the next block, but of the one after that. They will only allow a train to proceed if there is a clear route through the next block into a free block that follows. This can help to ensure that no train gets stuck in a junction blocking other trains. If there are multiple exits from a block, if some of the exits are open and others are occupied, the train will be directed to the open exit. This acts as a load balancing switch. If multiple exits are open, the one with the shortest path to it will be chosen. This is a way in which priorities can be specified. Chain signals are also recursive, meaning that a chain signal can have another chain signal at a block exit. Signals can be either one-way or two-way. Trains can only enter a block through a signal that permits passage in that direction. This means that by simply setting up the signals, trains will automatically avoid going the wrong way down a one-way track. The directionality of a signal is determined by which side of the track you click, left, middle, or right. There is an option to change which side means what direction so that you can match your country's convention. You can toggle a signal in a particular direction by clicking on the side of an existing signal. Thus, you can make a one-way signal into a two-way, and vice versa. You can also make the type of signal be different in the different directions. You can move signals by dragging them, and by default, they'll snap to integer tile distances from the end of the track segment. You can also press Alt for more precise signal placement. When multiple train lines share tracks, you need a way to instruct trains where to go. This is done by entering the route editing mode and select the train lines you want to edit. The set of tracks a line will use is highlighted in the map when you select the line. If you click on a piece of track, the set of all lines passing through that track will be selected. To modify a selected route, for each signal, you can specify the set of valid exits from the block. This is done by selecting a signal, and then adding or removing other signals in the attached block. The highlighting will be updated immediately. You can also instruct a route not to release trains until an industry has produced some outputs. You can create bridges by elevating pieces of track. Select a segment of track, or individual vertices, and raise or lower them. You can also adjust the height of your next vertex while drawing the track in the first place. Bridges are needed to cross water, but they can also reduce congestion when crossing other tracks. If you cross tracks, make sure to provide enough clearance. This is usually 5 increments of height. If tracks are too close, an error will be given when you start simulating. Junctions must be either entirely on the ground or entirely in the air. This is to prevent non-physical rails from being created too easily. It's possible to place signals on bridges like any other track. When adding bridges or junctions to an existing piece of track, it can be convenient to cut a long stretch of track rather than deleting the track and re-adding it in smaller pieces. Select the cutting tool, then click on a segment of track to cut there. If you click a straight section, it will add a short curve there. Conversely, if you click on a curve, it will add a straight section there. This concludes the advanced tutorial. Now, let's see what cool rail lines you can come up with using these building blocks.